Hey yo, it's Guido. Welcome back. On this episode of Tactics Talk, we have Silver, and he is in his Object 257 top tier in a 357. Good setup for him on Mannerheim line. Mannerheim line. How do you say it? Mannerheim? In any event, he has spawned into the northeast spawn. He's come down to the low area. It is easier to get down here and dominate this part of the map from the northeast spawn. He's going to bounce the 4202 FE, and he's got a 50T P prototype coming in there helping him. And you guys do something that drives me a little bit crazy. Neither one of you is willing to go by and create two angles on this guy. Everyone wants to just fight him front on, which is a bit silly. If one of you had driven by him, then it's over pretty quickly. Usually what that means is somebody doesn't want to take a hit, because obviously you're giving them a better shot. However, with the 257, I think you had a good chance of bouncing them, especially if you might have driven up on the side of the ramp right there and given him a little bit less of a look down angle on your side armor. In any event, you get through it unscathed, so who am I to say you did it wrong? We got the Oni right here. We've gone to 2. We've pressed 2. We've gone to plaid. We start punishing the Oni with our gold. To heck with your thick armor, and the artillery finds our hero. Takes one hit. Oh, there's another one. Why not? Another shot into him. We're going to take a nice, carefully aimed shot right into that turret. And the 50 TP says, I'll take it from here. Let me just aim in on this Oni, who is stunned. Need to get a little taller. Oh, no. He gets dead. Just like that. So, Hippie, the Oni driver, is now out of the game. And Silver's looking at this. When he sent me the note, he said, hey, this is something you talk about a lot, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But you can see he's kind of looking at this going, and the question is always when you win this flank. I think you know where we're going with this. What I usually say, what do you do when you win a flank? What's the next plan? Well, if everything's looking good, then you might want to push through. But this map, it is very difficult to do that. That is a big wide open spot. There's not a lot of good options. If you can sneak from the ramp over to this area, you can kind of fight your way out of it. You got some cover here. But artillery can still splash in, and you don't have a lot of follow-on moves from there. Going into this open, you can get very exposed from shots on the sniper hill or shot in the back as you're slowly climbing up the hill. If you just go head-on, you got a Marbreaker, a JP, an IS-6. There's a scout back there. There's the 2 Arty driving across this big open spot. And you can see it right in front of you right now. It is very difficult. I might have taken that blind shot right in there. Looks like the JP was trying to back up. I think you still had a pretty good solution on where he was. So as usual, you see that Silver's team is just kind of sitting there, and they want to play punchy face at range, which they're going to lose because the artillery is eventually going to wear them down. And it really depends on whether Silver's artillery is helping. He's going to take a quick look at the IS-6, and then he's going to move on. So we're going to speed this up because chipmunk speed is fun, and we're going to come back to cap. So Silver is doing what I usually talk about. If you win your flank, go back to cap, or even worse, your flank is now threatened, go back to cap. And you can see that they have cleaned up the majority of Silver's friends who won that flank down there because they stubbornly refused to leave it. Now what they should have done is backed up to the top where the 50 TP is, taken their artillery out of the game for the moment, and then some of them, the faster ones, could swing back towards where Silver is. The rest of them can hold that ramp. Because more than likely, the campers, the Marbreaker and the rest of the campers, are going to be content to sit there for a lot of the game. Now they're moving forward. And if the Oni and the rest of them who were dead had pulled back to the ramp, they'd have had a much better time handling the push. But as it is, the Oni is going to get gang tackled. Silver is coming around looking for shots if he can get them. And strangely, he actually gets seen by a JP who's somewhere in one of these bushes down here. And he just gets hammered by HE, puts a shot down there hoping to hit him. And now he's going to back up out of there. And things are turning for the worse. It looks pretty good initially. They dealt with that corner down there. Look at that. The bloody JP just fires another HE round in there. I don't know what that was. Did it bounce off his gun? It showed it as blocked. That was very strange. Was that a splash nearby and it gave the little indication? I'm not really sure what happened right there. That looked like a max roll HE, like what the maximum for that gun could have been. But it was blocked, so either it went off his gun or... That was odd. If anyone knows what that was. So he's going to find this T10, and really, this is another thing I talk about. Sometimes you just have to go for it on a flank, because the last thing he needs is that T10 on one side and the other tanks on the other. More than likely that Oni isn't going to last. Unfortunately, he does have to expose himself to artillery right there, but he's going to come right at these dudes. The Bat Jet's a problem. If he can kill this T10 quickly, then he can get to the Bat Jet potentially. He might even be able to get a few misses, but the 25T sorts all that out by crashing. Trying to dive off and ends up dying. Silver then is trying to get turned around. I might have hid behind that rock a little bit. You're really hanging it out right there. The good news is it looks like the artillery's not reloaded, or they don't have eyes on you, or some of both. Of course, they're shooting at the other artillery. There's a couple shots going there. That's pretty cool, actually. At the same time, the rocket graphics were going in there as well, so it looked like everybody was trying to shoot that poor running artillery, and Silver is now down to a 2v6. So this is looking grim. There we got a 1357. He nails that dude. Looks like the 34-100 hit him as well. 1357 is trying to make a run for it, and he ends up going down to the 34-100. Now it is a 2v5. 3400 is low hit points. Now he's not doing a very good job. He's actually a little bit vulnerable to artillery right there, depending on where the artillery is, so he needs to be quite careful. And unfortunately, Silver was not able to get around tucked up under this hill right here before he took an artillery shot. And then the Marbreaker is able to punch through with a gold round, so that actually hurt big time as well. Dropped 500. Ouch. So now he's got to be very careful, and he's gone to gold. I think that's the absolute right answer right here. Now he's got two guys. He's going to see what he can do with the IS-6. A little bit of side. That's more angle than I would have given. Very lucky we don't die right here, I think. Bounce the IS-6. He's shooting regular AP, so maybe it's not that lucky. 34-100 takes down the JP, and the Marbreaker has made a critical error right here. While Silver is busy, he hasn't pushed in on him. Artillery takes out the 34-100, and now the Marbreaker probably figures, you know what, my only chance now is to come after this guy. Good news for Silver. He gets into the hatch. Holy cow. And now he's got the heat. 3 shots to put into the face of the turret, which is pretty weak as far as going against his heat shell goes. So he should be able to punch through those. Marbreaker's just coming in, and he bounces. That hurt big time. He's going to go right for the lower plate, sneaks a shot in. 467, drops the Marbreaker, and now just kind of hangs out for a while. The last thing you want to do here is go right around this corner. That was a nice job, kind of making them think. They might even drop a shot in there unless they actually saw him stop and back up. But you don't want to let them have a timing shot, so you need to stay back there about 10 seconds, completely go dark with no indication of which direction you're going, and then you can surprise them. So we're actually going to speed this up. This is pretty funny. I sped this up the first time. He's coming down here, and he actually finds this dude right here and blasts him in the face. Moving along. Where's the Crusader? Looking for him. We'll speed this thing up again. We're heading in here. Where is that guy? Wait a minute. He's behind me. Guy sneaks in behind. He's trying to get a shot on him. Was that a bounce? And another bounce? What the heck? Crusader SP has a pretty small gun, so you're going to find the HE doing not much to certain parts of this tank's armor. We're going to come up and over this. We found the poor little guy, and now he's in big trouble. Even if he shoots us, it doesn't really matter. You'd have to get extremely lucky with some kind of weird pen or ammo rack or something, and we end up crushing that guy. I don't know, did you ram him or shoot him? I'm not sure, but 6 kills, 4,512 damage, 437 spotting. Went to a flank. Won it, was not foolish enough to do 2 things. Was not foolish enough to push into all those guns because the conditions for that push were not set. Was not foolish enough to sit there playing patty cake and sniper boy with a 257. Notice that the other flank was, while it wasn't completely collapsed, it was starting to get in trouble. Heads back to that flank, is smart enough to realize I've got to clear this flank and not get guys on 2 sides of me, which very few people kind of understand in this game. And then played pretty smart from there as far as getting back to the cover and working over the guys who push into him. using his defensive cover right there from artillery. So nice job, Silver. That was a good game. Appreciate you sending that in. Lots of good stuff to learn for people on that one. As always, thanks for the support of the channel. It's been a good year. I hope the next year will be even better. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, have everybody subscribe. We will see you.